Hello there, and greetings from a rather chilly Enniscorthy in County Wexford, Ireland. I am so excited today to introduce you to the very first episode in my new podcast series, Artist Unlocked, where we discover the keys to creativity through honest discussion with various artists from different walks of life. My first guest on the podcast is my long-term collaborator, Sam O'Mahony, filmmaker, director, timekeeper. Many of you will have heard me talk about Sam before, as he is the brains behind many of my music videos, including The Voice, Wuthering Heights, Silent Night with Lynn Hillary, Nella Fantasia with Leah Barneville, and Never Enough. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button below, as there is lots more on the way. Sam, we've just been chatting there and we realised it has been almost 6 years since we've worked together, because you left the country and you left me with no one. I had to go find new people.
Who did you find?
I found a great guy called Kieran, who's been shooting my videos for the last few years. Right. And he's great crack. Very different in his approach to you. You are probably the most organized person I've worked with. You are very particular. You would send like a sheet of like, okay, here's the mood. Here's where we're all at psychologically. So I wanted to ask you, say, when I approached you and said, okay, here's for example, Wuthering Heights. Do you sit and listen to the music for a while and kind of gather a mood? Or what was your process when you were tasked with putting a music video to this?
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. I mean, you have to just disappear into, you get the lyrics and then you have the music and you walk around your flat, your park, whatever it is, with it just in your head, and the images that come, you start writing them down, and then you have a bunch of images, and then you start going, okay, well, there has to be some kind of story here. The story has to be dynamic and as interesting enough that people will watch, but it also can't be so overwhelming that you're not actually listening to the song, Exactly. So everything has to serve the song serves you, you're the artist. It's all about what's going to make people pay attention to the artist. So it's an interesting task, because you are creating a story, but it's a marketing tool as much as anything. And and it's not about the filmmaker. It just has to be about, let's just make this, make some beautiful accompanying images to this beautiful music.
I don't think many people know that for the Wuthering Heights video, there was a whole concept behind it. There's Kate Bush, and there's Kathy, and there's like Emily Bronte somewhere in there as well. So we meet all of these characters interwoven, and there's so much contrast in that video.
A lot of people didn't get that concept. It was very.
But they didn't need to get it.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. But I mean, everything has to come from. I mean, whether it's a music video or anything, you have to have a basis of truth, and that is where your story. That's where your concept comes from. Yeah. What it turns into is imagery. What it turns into is just action and imagery, but it needs to come from somewhere. Yeah. And that place is a human truth. So yeah, you listen to Wuthering Heights. It's obviously a very established song. It's obviously a very established piece of literature. I think it was fun to kind of like have to honor all those pieces. And what do you get? You get great imagery, and you get really cool performance, and you get something that's fun and a little camp, and that's why it worked really well. That's why it was a charming piece, which I think we shot in, what was it? 4 hours or something. Wicklow stopped for a bit,
Right. Again, you're such a director. I love being directed, because my background is in opera, and I'm so comfortable when I'm on a stage and I know my music, I know my character, but then I get the director's input, which brings the character and brings the performance to a completely different place. And it was so exciting for me. And I think that's why we ended up creating something which I think is fantastic. You don't want to say it's fantastic because it's tooting your own horn, but I think it's fantastic.
No, it is. It's like I said, I'm very fond of all those, and it's doing what I do now, and I work on a much larger scale now, but it's interesting how doing all that on that level, I make the exact same decisions now with
Yeah.
a costume department or a
Yes.
design department. And but what I still get stuck on is, say, well, you're scheduling a shoot, and you go, well, we'll do this then, and we'll do this then, and everyone's shaking their heads, go, that's impossible. You will not be able to say, I can tell you, I shot 4 music videos
Yes.
in less than 2 days. You get in
We
a
can
car,
do
you
it.
drive there, but we made all those things in a world where we didn't exactly need filming permits, and we
No.
weren't thinking about where to park the trucks because we just had a car,
Yeah.
and you got changed in the back seat when
Yes.
you needed to,
Yeah.
and it was lovely. I mean, I remember like we were driving around Wicklow doing that Wuthering Heights stuff, and then the sun started to set, and we had this. There was this promontory that like stuck out somewhere, and we're like,
Yes.
I said, I have to go back. We have to film
Yes.
something on that. And we got you into your voice costume,
That's right.
stuck you out on the edge, and we're just like, just look at it. Just,
Yes. Yes.
what probably wasn't the best direction.
Oh,
Um,
he's amazing though. The end of the voice
yeah,
was unintentional. It
I
was,
know, I know, I know. It's
yeah.
beautiful. There was so much, and those are so much fun. I mean, honestly, you kind of like, I don't know how much, you know, still getting to do what I do is amazing, but there's so much more going on. There's so much more politics. There's so much more to consider.
Yeah.
Um, you know, doing those things, like I hope I still work on that, that kind of scale for the rest of my life because it is so exciting,
Yeah.
spontaneous. There's lower stakes because you go, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just have a go.
Yes.
And the result is, 3 people, 4 people in a car, whatever it is,
Yeah.
making little movies, and it's
Yeah.
joyful. It's absolutely joyful.
One of my kind of like lasting memories of working with you was that you were quite good at pushing me past my comfort zone because it served the story better. So in Wuthering Heights, you made me dance.
Yeah.
And I had to bring somebody in to sort of, give me some movements because I was like, I'm not a dancer, Sam. You're going to need to dance, Emer, in this video. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
the director
Yeah.
says so. And then the one in Never Enough, where I turned up and you said, it'd be a great idea if you don't wear makeup.
So you're an artist and you're a storyteller and you're an amazing performer as well. And I think that is part of the brief of a director is to find that stuff in it. And but the most important thing is that you have to trust me, because God, there are so many people, there's so many directors out there that will make someone do something, push them past their comfort zone, and just abandon them.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I was so grateful for the trust that you put in me and for doing that. And I always knew it would work because it's just like, when you imagine something, I don't know, I think I've got lucky in that when I've got an imagination, I go, no, I've seen it and it works and it's brilliant. And don't worry, it's not you. You danced as well in Caruso, I think.
Yeah, I did, yes.
And you had to. It was like in that room with that dress, whatever it was. I was like, oh, come on, it's beautiful. But it is performance. It's all storytelling, and you're not just a singer. You're a performer. You're a character in each of those pieces.
Yeah.
And makeup free, but you're so beautiful, and I think anybody without makeup is. I appreciate the vulnerability that's there, but there's such truth and beauty in that. And I just think, for me anyway, I love both. I love seeing someone in full performance, but it's always so exciting, refreshing, and you appreciate so much when you see them who they are.
100%. Yeah, and when I look back on that video, I remember the version of me that was really afraid of this, kind of the terror of, I can't be on camera without makeup. Are you kidding me? The camera version of me has her hair done and lashings of makeup on. But when you're talking about storytelling, you have to bring in the entire person, and that is always going to include certainly the most interesting part of people is the vulnerability that we all carry. And exposing that it sort of tears away those layers, those masks that we wear all the time, that is not really the full extent of a human being, you know. So when I watch that video back, I absolutely love it because I can see the contrast between the vulnerability that actually makes the performer, and then the performer who goes out to share all of who they are through the song. So I'm so grateful that you made me be vulnerable in that video, because I think it's a beautiful testament to the life of an artist, where there's the mask, but there is the person behind the mask that actually creates the emotion in the performance, you know. I'm now working on original music, as I've mentioned to you, which I've never done before. So I've taken everything that I've learned from all the work that we did together, and I feel now that when I write the music, it'll be so different than creating a music video to go with something that has come from, you know, like words that never existed before, that only exist because of maybe experiences that I have had or what I went through. It will hopefully resonate with people. You write as well, don't you, in a different sort of...
I do, but it's really interesting that you know, that's a real you know, that's another step forward, I think, as an artist, you know, that, you know, you take off the makeup and then you also start writing your own material. I mean, that's terrible. Writing is the most I write a lot. And what took me so long in many ways, because I've been writing for years. But what took me so long to actually show anyone my writing was because of how absolutely terrifying it is, because I realized, oh, writing, there's nowhere to hide, because you only have your truth and your experiences to draw from. And if you're going to get any satisfaction out of it, that's what you have to use. You have to use your perspective, because it's the most empowering thing. Suddenly it's like, wow, this is how I see the world, but also the most terrifying thing, because this is how I see the world. And you're putting it out there. I mean, it's, you know, I still, you know, I look back at something I wrote, you know, 7 years ago that I didn't show anyone. I had this whole treatment for a film, and I didn't show anyone out of shame of it. And then I looked at it the other day and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever written, you know.
Unbelievable.
And it's, you know, and I'm gonna revive it now. But you know, what I didn't know then, what I wish someone had told me then, is like, you just have to do it. You have to take off your makeup. You have to just show someone your terrible writing. It's the only way you ever improve is by thickening up that skin, realizing what doesn't work, and then suddenly you are expressing yourself, however you're doing it skillfully. And then you're a writer.
And it's funny, the first thing that happened for me was COVID hit, and, you know, lost all of my work. Nothing was happening. We were all at home, nothing to do. And I thought, okay, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give myself permission to write something really bad. You know, you take off the pressure to go straight to perfection, you know. And I did. I wrote some terrible songs. Shocking. And I learned through every single thing that I wrote how to get better. Until I finally got to a point where I was like, this is how you start. You start by just putting words on paper that you may not have to commit to, but they're starting something, they're igniting something, you know. And it's so interesting to hear this, whether it's writing a play or a film or music, it's the same kind of process. You have to just jump in.
I realized it recently. Let me tell you one little story about creativity, okay?
Good, do.
And it's very much about, you know, where we're at the moment with technology. I find writing very hard. It's really hard. I really have to push through. And last year I had to do some work, and I was like, I had to write it all, and then I had to summarize it. I was like, oh God, how do I get this down to one page? I said, you know what? I use ChatGPT. Right?
Okay.
ChatGPT is fantastic. Such a brilliant assistant. It does so many great things. And it summarized a thing, and I was like, oh wow, that's really impressive. Oh, and it's all it's what I've written, but you've just okay, great, amazing. I looked back at those a few weeks ago, and I was like, I don't feel anything. I was like,
Yeah.
I know it's kind of what I
Mhm.
wrote, but someone has polished this up in a way that I don't recognize as
No.
me.
Mm.
And what was so exciting about that technology was that it made it easier. But here's the catch.
Mm.
It's not meant to be easy. The
Yes.
reason why you create something beautiful is because you've gone through the pain of
Yeah.
creating it. If
Yeah.
you remove the pain,
Mm-hmm.
you won't create something beautiful. And
True.
unfortunately, that's the lesson I learned. It's like, it has to be hard. I'm writing at the moment, and it's hard. It's hard,
It
and I'm
is
like,
hard.
God, I wish there was a way, but it's like, no, just keep going, and then you go and you go, I got there, and
Yes.
the most satisfying thing,
Oh
and
God.
that's not me undermining, how AI can help things, but just be careful, world, because
Yeah.
it's like the most impressive sociopath at the dinner party. Everyone
Imitating a real
everyone
human.
will listen to it
Yes.
because it speaks in the most eloquent way. But
Yeah.
what is it actually saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me the inarticulate
Yeah.
pain dude at the end.
Yeah.
He might have more to say, even if he isn't saying it in the most beautiful way.
I
Yeah.
completely agree. It's like AI imitates emotion, but what we want is actual emotion.
I
And
think so.
all of the stuff that I've written has come from painful experiences. They're not all sad songs, but they were born out of a painful experience that then
Yeah.
I sort of used to sort of say, well, actually, what if? So my album is based on the symbolism of the butterfly. Um, and that idea that a butterfly starts in a cocoon and it's living in goo for like half of its life, and it's dark and it doesn't have wings yet. And it has to emerge from the cocoon or the chrysalis by action. And it's hard. It's really, really tough. But the only reason it actually can grow wings that are strong enough to fly is because it has to struggle to emerge from this cocoon. So a lot of the songs on this album will be kind of based on that sort of darkness to light. You appreciate the light more because you've been through the darkness, or strength is born out of struggle. And AI doesn't have that.
No, it doesn't understand loss. It
No.
doesn't it will never understand pain, and the whole, I think the whole, God, we're getting deep here, but the whole
Yes.
existential question is, how do we get through our pain?
Yeah.
We tell stories, we write songs, we make films to
Yeah.
help us understand that.
Yeah.
And the creation of those stories and films and songs is hard as well.
Yes.
Um,
Exactly.
it's amazing how technology basically, the whole point of technology is to make our lives easier.
Yeah.
But what it misses is the fact that our lives shouldn't be that easy.
No.
If it's that easy, we stop developing as human beings.
It's so
Um,
true. It's like pain is important.
yeah,
It sort of it shapes you, and it's
yeah.
awful in the middle of it. It's the worst
Oh,
thing.
but the courage it takes to sit there
Yeah.
knowing that, the phrase I've always used is the answers are in the darkness.
Oh,
They
I love
are.
that. Okay,
They,
that's a song now. Let me write that down.
but they are, that's where you have to go.
Yeah.
If you try and fight it, it's like you break your leg. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to wait for it to heal. There
Yeah.
is no quick way. And through
And
that healing, all the muscle
yes.
reforms.
Well, what I was going to say is that the wonderful thing is, say, if you break your leg and you have to wait for it to heal, there is no cursing your leg for not healing fast enough. You just trust that it will know how to do it itself, because so much of healing is actually just allowing your body to do its job. The
Yeah.
same with if it's a psychological healing that you need. So much of that is actually just accept where you are right now. Don't resist where you are,
Yeah.
and allow yourself to sort of heal and grow with it.
Mm.
God, we got very deep, didn't we? That was deep.
The internet's going to blow up when they come across this content.
I know. Well, listen, I am so excited to be bringing these videos out again. I'm so excited that we've had the chance to talk about the background of them, and give a little bit of an insight into the making of it and where all of these concepts came from. And I do hope on my vision board is to do another music video with you someday.
Hey, let's send me a song.
I know, so maybe one of my originals. I might.
That would be cool. That'd be so cool, Emer.
That'd be so cool. I would love that. So I'm gonna put a pin in that. And this, I don't want to keep you any longer. I think we've literally covered the meaning of life in this, Sam. I don't think there's anything else we can say.
That's what art is. Art is trying to discover the meaning of life. So,
and we're getting closer every day.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed this chat. You deserve every ounce of success.
You too. So when's the album coming out?
It will be recorded next year, early in the year, and it'll be coming out in October next year. That's the plan.
Real.
So yeah, getting there with it. There'll be 5 original songs and then some kind of classical crossover arrangement.
Amazing.
It's super exciting. I'll be in touch. Thanks again, right. Sam.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button below, because I have lots more on the way. And there are videos you may have missed all around my head. Chat to you soon.